Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We are going to explore Lyndon Thorpe's incredible journey.
It is incredible.
She went from, you know, a totally burned out teacher to a successful digital entrepreneur. We've got a ton of material to look at today.
We
We've
do.
got articles, we've got case studies, we've even got some snippets from Lyndon's own campaign materials.
Oh, it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah. Our mission today is to figure out how Lyndon made this leap. What were the mindset changes? What digital skills did she use? How did this all come together? But here's the thing.
Okay.
This deep dive is really for you, the listener,
Absolutely.
because we are going to uncover how digital literacy can help women just like you achieve financial independence. So get ready for some aha moments and maybe even a little bit of inspiration for your own life.
I love that. You know, one of the most interesting things to me about Lyndon's story is how common this experience is,
Yeah.
especially for women. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
Women make up something like over 70% of the world's teachers. According to UNESCO, that's a huge percentage of the workforce.
Absolutely.
And they're dedicated to educating others. But burnout is a huge problem in that profession.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listener.
Okay.
We have Lyndon, a really dedicated teacher. She hits that burnout wall, like so many others do.
Right.
So what was it about her experience that made her decide to make such a dramatic shift?
Well, the sources really highlighted this turning point. You know, it wasn't just about getting away from the exhaustion of teaching.
Yeah,
Lyndon realized she had to start prioritizing her own dreams.
that's awesome.
And she kind of had to make the choice to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight of being an entrepreneur.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yes.
Lyndon didn't just leave teaching to find some other job.
No.
She specifically chose to dive into this world of digital entrepreneurship.
And her campaign, Escape the 9-to-5 Grind, Create Your Millionaire Lifestyle Today. It makes it so clear that this isn't just about leaving a traditional job.
Right.
It's about aiming for real success and excellence that a lot of people wouldn't even dream of.
So she had this vision, but how did she actually make it happen? I mean, going from teacher to entrepreneur is a huge jump.
Well, that's where the digital literacy part of it comes into play. Lyndon says a lot of her success is because she mastered these very specific digital skills.
So it's more than just knowing how to use a computer.
Oh, for sure. Way more.
I'm guessing this is where that mindset shift you were talking about comes in.
Oh, absolutely. You have to think about it.
Okay.
To make a change as big as the one Lyndon made, you need more than just technical skills.
I can imagine.
You need to believe in yourself. You need the confidence to take risks and be willing to learn new things and adapt all the time. And those are qualities that successful entrepreneurs like Lyndon usually have.
So Lyndon had this internal shift, like she was telling herself, I can do this.
Right.
But she also needed the practical skills to build a business online. What specific things did she focus on?
Well, Lyndon offers a free 5-video training series.
Oh, cool.
It's called the Anti-9-5 Income Plan.
Catchy.
And she breaks down some of those key strategies that she used. Now, again, we are not here to endorse any particular program, but it is really interesting to see how she's organized her knowledge into a system that others can use.
Yeah. And it sounds like community is a really big part of her message, too. I mean, going it alone can be pretty scary, especially when you're trying to make such a big change.
It's so important. And Lyndon really stresses the value of community support. She actually encourages people to sign up for her mailing list, become part of her online community,
Oh, nice.
where they can find resources and connect with people who are on a similar path.
So it's like having this network of cheerleaders and mentors.
24/7.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this picture of Lyndon, a former teacher, who experienced burnout, had this light bulb moment, and realized she could create a totally different life for herself.
I love it.
She chose to become a digital entrepreneur. She learned new digital skills and she built this amazing support system. But there's a bigger picture here, right? Something about a digital divide.
You are so right. Lyndon's story is really inspiring, but it also shines a light on a problem that a lot of women face, especially women from underserved communities and single mothers. We're talking about the digital divide, the difference between those who have access to technology and those who don't.
Okay, that sounds like a huge obstacle.
Yeah.
How does that digital divide actually affect things in real life? What are the consequences for women who are on the wrong side of that divide?
Well, the statistics are pretty alarming. The National Digital Inclusion Alliance said in 2024 that 40% of single-mother households don't have reliable internet access.
Wow.
And it's not even just about getting online. A 2023 Pew Research study found that only 45% of women say they have the digital skills they need to get ahead in their careers.
Wow, those are some big numbers. So without access to technology and without the skills to use it, a lot of women are basically shut out of opportunities to grow their careers and become financially independent.
You got it. And this is where Lyndon's story is even more important, I think, because she saw that digital literacy was the bridge to a better life for her.
Yeah.
And she's really passionate about helping other women cross that same bridge.
It sounds like she's kind of a pioneer in a way,
Yeah.
Paving the way for others to follow. But what does it actually mean to be digitally literate? Is it just knowing how to use a computer, or is it something more?
That is a great question. And it's something we're going to explore more deeply later.
Okay.
But for now, think of digital literacy like a toolbox
Okay. I like that.
that's full of different skills. Things like how to use social media, well, how to build a website, how to look at data, and how to do online marketing. And just like with any toolbox, the more tools you have and the better you know how to use them, the more you can get done.
So digital literacy is a set of skills that can empower women to create opportunities for themselves and become more financially independent.
Exactly.
But we've also talked about mindset. It seems like those two things really work together, don't they?
Absolutely. You can have every single digital skill in the world, but without the right mindset, they might not get you very far. It's kind of like having a powerful car but being too afraid to drive it.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
You need the confidence. You need to believe in yourself. And you need to be willing to take some risks
Yeah.
to really use the power of those skills. And that's really where Lyndon's story is so important. Because she had to overcome her own self-doubt
Yeah.
and her own limiting beliefs to really step into that role as a digital entrepreneur.
Right.
It wasn't just about learning those technical skills.
Mhm.
She had to transform her mindset
Okay.
from thinking like an employee to thinking like a leader.
So she had to rewire her thinking
Yeah.
to see new possibilities where
I
there
know.
used to be limitations. How does that work in real life?
Right.
I mean, are we talking about positive affirmations, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's way deeper than just, saying nice things to yourself over and over again.
Okay, good.
Lyndon talks about developing a growth mindset.
Okay.
This means believing that your abilities aren't fixed. You can always improve them with effort and learning.
So it's not about being born with a special entrepreneurial gene.
No.
It's about having the confidence that you can learn and grow.
Exactly.
And that opens up the door to success.
Yeah. It's about looking at challenges and not seeing roadblocks,
Yeah.
but seeing opportunities
Okay.
to learn and to grow.
Yeah.
It's about being okay with not knowing everything and being willing to experiment and even fail sometimes.
Mm.
Because failing is just part of the process of succeeding.
And you have to be able to bounce back from those setbacks.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in the unpredictable world of being an entrepreneur.
Right. You're going to hit bumps in the road. You're going to make mistakes.
Sure.
It's going to happen. But it's really how you respond to those challenges that determines if you'll ultimately succeed.
That's a good point. Okay, so we've talked about mindset, we've talked about digital literacy and the digital divide.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to some real-world examples. There were a couple of case studies that were really interesting to me.
Yes. These case studies are great.
They really illustrate these ideas in action.
Right. Like Sarah.
Yeah.
She's a former teacher
Okay.
who also burned out.
I'm seeing a pattern here. So how did she turn things around?
Well, she combined what she already knew about teaching with new digital skills.
Okay.
She took some online courses to learn about digital marketing,
Oh, wow.
and then she used that knowledge to create a whole online tutoring platform.
That's incredible. So she basically adapted her passion for teaching to the digital world.
Yes.
And not only did she escape that teacher burnout,
Mm-hmm.
but she also created this new source of income for herself.
Exactly. And her story shows that you don't need to be a tech expert to make it in the digital world.
Right.
You can use what you already know, just like Sarah did with her teaching background.
So it's about seeing how your existing skills and knowledge connect with what's needed in the digital world.
And anyone can do that
Yeah.
with the right help and support.
That's really encouraging.
It is.
And speaking of people from different backgrounds, we also have Linda's story.
Yes.
She went through a divorce
Right.
and had to rebuild her life financially.
She learned digital skills, and she specifically focused on consulting
Okay.
and launched her own successful business.
Wow. So she overcame a huge life challenge and also created a whole new path for herself.
Exactly.
It seems like these women are proving that you're never too old to learn new tricks.
Totally. Their stories show just how diverse the opportunities are in the digital world, whether you love education or consulting or something else entirely.
Right.